Okay, right off the bat, man, I apologize for the shadows. Just happens to be where the sun is right now. We got the sun behind us, and if I did it at any other angle, we would end up with glare from the sun. What I'm going to do first is we're going to dig on both sides of it. Just going to go down and break the roots. Like I said, this thing's been here for a little bit. This is just a pear tree. It's not going to be like an oak tree or even these mesquite trees out here that you'll see out in the field, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Lots of mesquite trees. That's going to be one of our projects out there, taking those up. Like I said, what we're going to do is we're just going to go to the sides, right up next to the stump. And we're going to dig in and then pull out some of the roots. I know I'm going to have some folks, and if you've got a different opinion on this, you know, put it in the comments below. The force that it takes to bring out some of these roots, depending on how old and how large the root is. We got a pretty good root right there. There's a lot of force exerted on the front end loader on a tractor to try to pull this stuff. There's a lot of force exerted on this excavator to try to pull this roots up. And we're getting into several roots right here. And we still haven't cut into it yet. Got some pretty good roots on this. And we're going to come down on this side. We'll dig down to the side of it. Like I said, we are using our 18-inch bucket. They do make narrower buckets, but it's really not a great idea to use a narrower bucket than what your thumb is, because what ends up happening is if you're digging down into a trench, unless you're digging a shallow trench, if you're trenching, it goes down and you get the pin that holds on the thumb starts digging into the sidewall of the trench, and you end up with dirt, and dirt does not mix well with these thumbs, with the pins, and so far you got grease all over it, and that dirt's just going to stick. We're going to come in here and we're going to dig a little bit in the front of it. It's got some pretty good roots in it. Give it a nudge. We'll see what it does. I don't think we're even close to being able to push this over yet. There we go. And what we'll do is we're going to reach around the back of it now. Close our thumb in and pull it out. And there we go. We got that one out of the way. Now we got to go back and take this other one out. If you've never run an excavator before, one of the things that you want to make sure of is that the pressure is turned down, your working pressure on that thumb, because when the bucket clamps down to the thumb, there's a lot of force exerted there. And what would happen is, if you've got too much working pressure on that thumb, you'll end up either bending the ram on the bucket or the rim on the thumb, and that can get extremely expensive. So what you want to make sure of is when they're brought together like this, that it gives. And you'll watch here. You can see it push that back in. So we want a little bit less working pressure on our thumb, and of course you want to make sure our bucket has plenty of breakout force. There we go. And we'll get rid of that. We'll come in behind it now. Pull it in towards us and see if we can break that out. I don't think we can just yet. I think we've still got some roots. And we'll bring it in front of us now. Push it back the other way. And to tell you the other thing, you don't even have to buy an excavator. You can rent one. They're pretty reasonable to rent. And there we go. We've got that one pulled out. Got the tap root and everything. Shake off a little bit of the dirt. And you don't have to be an expert running one either. That's the thing. You can catch onto this pretty quick. You can run a Z-turn more if you play video games. You can do this pretty easily. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to send our dirt back into the hole. And we can come back and clean up this mess. I should have weed eated around the hole, around the stump, but I was lazy, didn't do it. And we've still got some roots in there. We're going to take the roots out. Don't really want to put those back in the hole. We'll come down and clamp on them, pull it up. And we got a little bit left right there. We'll pull those up. A lot of roots. And I guarantee you cannot do this faster with your tractor. It's just... And we're going to pick up this mess right here. You know, I'll take back one thing I just said. I said you couldn't do it with a tractor. You can do it with a tractor. You're just not going to do it as effectively. The thing is, if you're not very good at operating an excavator, it's just like everything else. It takes time. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks or what anybody else says. None of their business. And we still have some branches in there that we're going to want to get out. Got another stump over here. We're going to take it out in just a second. Okay. We just recently got this excavator. It's new to us. We've got 35 acres. It's been neglected for the last, probably 25 years. Very little's been done out here. Property belonged to family, belonged to my mom and dad. And they got up in the years. My dad couldn't do work on it anymore. And a lot of things just didn't get done. So we're going to come back in here and we're going to try to clean the property up, make it look nice. Dilapidated sheds. We're going to be tearing down a lot of stuff. We're going to do a lot of work. Not only with this, with the excavator. Going to be doing it with our tractor also. We've got things to do with the tractor. Go back and we'll track this in, get it all flattened out. One of the things I'm going to show at some point, I owned a steel fabrication and repair shop for about 40 years, and we had people that brought in tractors all the time and tractor equipment, and we saw a lot of broken front end loaders. And basically what it was from pushing. If you look at the way that the front end loaders are designed on these tractors, they are not designed for a whole lot of force for pushing straight into the tractor. If you drove up to like this stump that we just took out, if you drove up to it and pushed on it with that front end loader, it's just, they're not designed for that. And a lot of what we fixed were cracks in the frames of the loaders. And that's mostly what we saw. A lot of implements were abused. Put it this way, if you could break something, we probably saw what we probably have repaired it in the past. Okay, we're gonna move on over about 50 feet over, other side of that rock pile right there, and take out another stump. So we will be right back.